Earlier this month, 343i and Microsoft announced that they would be ceasing the development of the planned and promised local co-op in Halo Infinite. The first time it's been missing from Halo since it launched on the original Xbox back in the early 2000s. We can safely assume they also promised ray tracing update that was going to solve all the visual issues that I covered at the reveal in depth. Not that big of an issue anyway, really, as the ray tracing was never going to resolve those issues, nor was it the cause of that incorrect sun placement throughout the outdoor sections. But the car crash that has really been Halo Infinite launch period still rolls on, it seems. And as a fan of the series since its inception, this is a great tragedy to me and my sons, whom I played all of the game's campaigns through years of multiplayer over the Xbox lifespan. Here though, I think we have more than just technical issues, as I alluded to in my tweet, and others have said is the cause. No, it's not. What you see here is the base Xbox One, in this case the Xbox One S, running the local single-player co-op on one console, split screen in all its glory. Open level areas, cutscenes, set pieces all work fine with obvious cutbacks. All that open world talk does frustrate me. It's open level design, it's not an open world. This isn't GTA.
Using a modification of the Covenant's BattleNet protocol. Pretty easy to push through, and done. I've removed this location from their system. We're safe here.
So, how do you do it? Well, the process to glitch into the co-op is possible on all consoles, Series S, Series X, Xbox One X, and obviously here in the Xbox One. All you need is two players online. One opens a custom game and sits in the menu. These need to be across two consoles at this point. Then on the other console you want to play co-op on, you start and load campaign. As it starts loading the map, you jump to friends and join the other's account lobby as a fire team. From here, once in their lobby, you leave the team and you are left in your own custom game lobby. Now in the settings, set it to local offline only, then sign into another controller with another account. Sometimes you have to do this twice, pick the same account up, and it then registers. And when it does, you both show up in the lobby. Then you hit play and enjoy it. From here, you get all the single player action we know and enjoyed previously on a single console. Again, all on the Xbox and Series consoles work perfectly, and I'm testing the lowest common denominator here, as if it works here, then it will certainly work from the Xbox One X upwards, with no issues at all and a better visual quality and performance levels than you see here. And as a reminder, the game did already have issues across performance and modes anyway. I mean, apart from the Xbox One S here, which was fixed at 30 FPS, you had dual modes on both the Xbox One, the Series S and the Series X. Now you've effectively just got two modes, which is 30 FPS cap or 60. You turn that on and off and it gives you performance levels, but here are the older version I tested way back at launch. You can see some comparisons to how the game performs. It was never a locked 30 or a locked 60. It dipped even on the Series S, at times worse than the Xbox One X, which could have high resolution and better image quality in the Series S, something which I've consistently covered over the last year or so in terms of the Series S quality. So overall, we've got to keep that in mind, because the quality of the title was never sky high. It's certainly not pushing the benchmark of visual quality the previous Halo titles have, and it wasn't really a standout title on both the Series S and the Series X. So all of that doesn't really excuse the fact that what I'm going to tell you now is the game is heavily cut back. Here on the Xbox One S, as an example, performance is obviously pretty bad at certain points, certainly down into the low teens. It's got cut back on resolution, only a 1440 by 540p resolution here in split screen, meaning it's very blocky, image is quite poor, on a large screen anyway, but it still feels and plays pretty good. Overall, the expectation here is you're getting cutbacks on LOD heavily. Shadow cascades are really close. Things draw in feet within front of you. AI can definitely cut off very quickly in certain areas, and they stand still and you run up and then they attack. So all of that is as expected, but it's still Halo. It still feels fun. You've still got the grappling hook. All of that works perfectly fine.
No longer a threat. And now she's going to help us stop the Banished.
Of course she is.
I think I'm with you. I didn't even know what a Banished was an hour ago, and even I can see the odds aren't great.
Yes. Yes, you should listen to her. You're gonna get us all killed. Big brain.
Also, apologise for some of the gameplay here. I'm playing with 2 pads on my knee and flipping between them because once I got it working, I had to then wait for my son to get home from school for him to join me in co-op. So there's that, and the sound sync issue, that's genuine. It does go out of sync, but remember, this is not something for public consumption. It's behind closed doors. Keep that in mind. So the question at this point is, if it's all working and we can glitch into it, it seems to work on the worst console available, why haven't they done it? Well, certainly the version here is rough and in a beta state, obviously, with issues, loading problems popping up, sound glitching at occasions, crashing to menus at points even. But the game itself launched in beta anyway for multiplayer, so I do not see why this could not have been, at the very least, put back into beta and pushed out to the users to say, here, have a go, see what you can do with it, see if it improves. It would appease the Xbox audience. It would offer something new for Xbox, which has been a barren wasteland for much of 2022, let's be honest. And it may even help the engine and network teams iron out more bugs and issues to improve the stability. For me, the visual impact on the Xbox One is big, of course it is, but certainly the mainstream audience would not care and just enjoy playing it with a mate or sibling through the campaign. So why have they not done it then? Well, I think it's due to the main reason of increasing Game Pass value, as the online co-op will remain, and you can enjoy 2 or more players through that single player full screen option using online. Obviously, this is present on all consoles in the best light, and maybe the impact to Series S mostly is bad luck for the console. The lack of RAM may be a big reason why, but ultimately I think this is an ROI and commercial decision on the player base of the title, so return on investment. And what value does it give to spend a few hundred or maybe even millions more on resolving the local co-op when hardly anyone's playing the title anyway? It works now as it is, certainly online, and the need to play through single player means most players will then get Game Pass to play the single players. Remember, only the multiplayer is free in Halo Infinite. And the new family Game Pass package is coming up. It's actually now out in test in Ireland. So this will be a good game to push the service from a marketing perspective. And it brings me back to what I always say about this. It's a business. It is one. At the end of the day, companies make games, decisions, spend money for a reason. And this is not always as obvious as others may make it out. They want your money and they want you to buy and subscribe. That's always been Microsoft's ethos for years. Again, I've mentioned this before. Games have been scrapped with them being fully complete. Projects have been, canned. Films such as the recent Batgirl have been canned when they're done. And I have first-hand experience working on projects, even some of them customer facing, some of them internal R&D, for 12, 24 months plus to be scrapped, and all of that, and millions of pounds wasted, and the project is just mothballed. There's nothing new here. So in some ways, Xbox will be salvaging much of the work here and still gain from it. Wasteful for sure, but not a total loss, and certainly not unexpected. Very, very common in business, trust me. My issue though is I think this is a bad PR decision, and I think offering it into beta for a while would make a better choice. As I've shown here, with the glitch being made public thanks to the Twitter user you can see on screen, Alexis B, the co-op works on the lowest console it supports, with issues and cutbacks for sure, but it's better than nothing, and sticking it in beta would solve all of that, and at least, Microsoft could wash their hands and say, here, have a go, if it breaks, who cares? I never said it was going to work anyway, it's in beta, it may never hit public launch. It will work on PCs and the more powerful consoles and offer much better quality and service. And the entire Xbox brand is, in my opinion, making some incredibly poor decisions and service levels to its customer base, with the entire Halo Infinite story from beginning to end being a chapter for how to mistreat and kill off a franchise, a 101 business sense model, through bad management, terrible company choices, and poor technical delivery. All in all, this is a lesson in what not to do. Overall, I still think it's great that the option's in the engine, and it shows that they did spend some time getting it working, and here it goes. It works. It can be played. You can enjoy it. But am I being too harsh on Xbox? Obviously, on the one hand, I work in this sector. I know what it's like. There's lots of decisions here, far more than I can understand because I don't work in it. There's definitely more going on here than it's a bit glitchy and it's going to cost us money to develop it. And I've given my reasons why I think that's the case. So on one hand, I can understand because you've got to cut your losses at some point. And things like this, throwing good money after bad, is never a good business sense. There'll be milestones that have obviously been missed. And the whole history of the Halo Infinite development tells you that there's issues from beginning to end, cradle to grave. I've gone through that in depth. So this is far beyond just technical debt at this point. It's mismanagement. But so on the one hand, I get it. You've got to cut your losses. And it's unfortunate this glitch has come for the public eye. And therefore, I'm showing it. Others will be showing it. That's just the way it is. But fundamentally, you've got to take it on that perspective that Microsoft is a big company, and it's not just about the bad business decisions. It's about making good on a bad, situation like we can here. So they could can it, or they could use it another way. It's to do with the fact that Microsoft have a lot of money, they have a lot of clout, and they could certainly spend a little more than what they've already spent and push this out. And I think they're making this for decisions beyond just the fact that it's a bit glitchy and buggy at this point. Yes, it obviously is, but they've launched stuff before, including this very title, with issues all over the place, so it's not as if it's an unknown. They could have at least launched this in a beta format, in my opinion. But what do you think? Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Are you going to try the glitch yourself before they inevitably patch it out? And we'll just see whether or not that Game Pass prediction I've mentioned becomes true once Game Pass Family Package launches in a month or so. So actually that came true quicker than I thought. Even at the point of testing this again, just getting the Series S, Series X versions downloaded, they've patched it. So now you can no longer do the glitch. It doesn't work anymore, it just sits in that lobby spinning around. So that's unfortunate, but it is what it is, and as expected. Anyway, I'm out. This was a quick one. I only had time today just to see it and jump on it, so hopefully you enjoy it. Remember, I'm self-funded and completely independent, so if you like what I do, hit subscribe, share, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Betrayal. Betrayed.